Hey guys, I'm super excited to show you my colouring book haul from my trip to Japan. The bookshops over there are amazing. We do not have bookshops like that over here anywhere in Australia. So the three bookshops I got most of my books from were Marazen, Junkudo, and Kinokuniya. I haven't actually sat down and had a proper look at them yet, so I will do a quick flip through of them all so we can discover each book together. If the video takes too long, I'll probably just divide it into two videos, but we'll see how we go. Also, before I start, I translated the titles with Google Translate, and from my time in Japan, it is not very reliable at all, but I can't guarantee they'll be correct, but they're usually near enough. Okay, let's get to it. So these two books here are in the art colouring book collection. The first one here is called Travel and Adventure. Each one has 24 images illustrated by 24 different artists. So there's a lot of different styles in here to colour, which is always really awesome. So we'll start off with this one here, which is the Travel and Adventure edition. So just like most Japanese colouring books, they always have a little bit of help at the front here. Also goes through and shows you the artist's completed work, which is good if you want a little bit of inspiration. And then onto the images. So the paper in this book is really weird. So it's not super thin. It is single-sided, so it doesn't really matter if you do have some bleed through. I actually think it would work well with watercolour. It has a little bit of texture on it, but I haven't obviously tried that out yet. So I'll keep you updated with my further videos on how watercolour or water medium works on this book. And we'll just have a quick flip through. I like how different all the artists' work is. It's really different. It's not all similar. So something like this, I probably wouldn't colour in. I'm not a fan of it. But what I would do, if I do find out that this is quite thin and doesn't work properly with watercolours, what I might do is I might sticky tape these together so it's a bit of a thicker paper. Because there is a few in here and in the other book that I probably wouldn't colour. So like I wouldn't colour that one there either. This one here is called People Motif Edition. So they are glue bound and they do look like they probably will start falling apart eventually. This one here is so detailed. I do not think that I will be able to do that. Might be able to give the back, might be able to do something like give the back a bit of a wash, like a wash with colour, and then just pick out the details that I really want to colour in. The next book I got is The Heart of My Hometown, illustrated by Kiyoshi Nakajima. These images are super cute, but the only thing about this book is there is only 11 pictures to colour in. So it's not that much of a bang for your buck, but the pictures are super, super sweet. So the front of this book shows you every single image actually fully coloured in the big pages. They're very sweet. And to the colouring. Sorry, I've got a dog hair in there. They are perforated, so you can take them out if you like. And the paper is super thick. I would say it would take watercolour really well. It's more like a bit of a cardboard. There is a big series of these books there. I did look through quite a few of them, but I didn't really like many of them. There was a lot of like flowers. They had some Disney ones. They had like Disney princesses. There might be some on the back here. Yeah, so they had cats, some landscape. But this is the one that took my eye. But I actually didn't notice that the paper was so good. I might have gotten some of the other ones. I also got this one here, which is called Treasure Chest of Memories, and it's illustrated by Chorok Tamjijian. This one definitely has a lot of pictures compared to the other ones. This has 81 images in this one, and it is super thick. This book is divided into seasons. I did actually notice while I was hunting through the books in the bookshops that most of them are actually divided into seasons. So it's quite nice, and I love how in this book you'll see the pictures have different coloured ink outlines. It's a really nice cover page. So with this one, the images are directly next to the page, which is nice if you want to reproduce this image, but I actually don't like it being there. I like to cover it up because it seems to like put me off, and I do end up reproducing, but I don't want to. So I will usually cover this up with a piece of paper before I start colouring in. So this one's quite a long one, but you can see, I'm not sure if you can tell, but the colours of the inks are quite different. So there's greens and there's blacks. There's also a little bit of like a deep red colour in here as well. This book was definitely well priced. So this was, I think this cost me about 14 Australian dollars, and the paper is amazing. It's so thick, and the images are beautiful. I'm not going to turn, I won't turn them around when they're horizontal, but you still can see what they are. There's a lot of space to play with as well on these images. So I'm sorry I'm doing a quick flip through. It's not a super slow one. If anyone wants a much slower flip through, let me know and I'll do one. See, this has got a bit of a purple wash at the back of this one, which is nice. I love how her cats are always there. Out of all the books I got, I think this has to be one of my favourites. When I was there, I also got quite a lot of art books. So I will do them on a separate video so you can see what art books I got. Just for a bit of inspiration. There were so many beautiful art books there. Obviously, when you're thinking about traveling, you've got to think about the weight of books. So it was a bit tricky. I had to leave a few behind that I regret leaving behind, but if I would have bought them, it would just been too heavy. This would be a fun one to do with different washi tapes. I love the way she illustrates animals. And this here is really nice. It's got some really nice like writing paper and then an image on the front that you could colour in. So you could colour in and then you could write a note to somebody and give them to them, which is beautiful. I really like that idea. And then also a paper doll cutout here, and then the colouring in version of it, which is super cute. Absolutely beautiful book. I love that one. Then we've got this super cute, super tiny little Curious George colouring in book. So I got this one from Daiso. I've always had like this really weird little thing with Curious George. I think he's so cute. And when my little girl was younger, we used to watch it hours on end. So it does remind me of when she was little, which is always nice. So I got this from Daiso. It was like $2 or something, and I could not pass that up. But I was so surprised that the paper in this is actually really, really good for like a kid's like $2 book. But it is just so cute. Honestly, it's beautiful. I won't colour in much. I'll colour maybe a couple of pictures in here, but I just like looking at the pictures because they're super cute. And if you haven't seen Curious George, do yourself a favour, just go and watch an episode. It is the cutest thing ever. I also got Little Girl and Kitten by Kitami Ahago. This book also has lots of different coloured ink in it. So each chapter has a different coloured ink, which I reckon is pretty cool. I have been eyeing this book off for a long time. I've seen this on lots of channels, and I've been thinking if I should buy it or not. And then when I saw it over in Japan, I could not say no. So once again, the images are coloured at the front. Beautiful images. And then it comes in different chapters. So the first one is music. So all the ink work in this is that darky brown colour. And I also love how she will name her pages, her pictures too. So this one's called Where Does the Key Go? And then Town, and this was in a beautiful, it's a really nice blue actually. Really nice blue ink. And it looks like every single page, except for this one's here, except for the introduction pages, are double pages. So this one is Time. I struggle with getting double pages done. So this book might actually be good to actually make me do it. And Forest is in green. The ink colours are just really nice. They're very earthy and muted. And then at the back here, they've got some cool tags. They've got these little postcards. And then these here are some single page images. This is some extra images at the back. I also got this one, which is called Alice and Dinah's Adventures in Wonderland. And this one is by Mirren. So this is part of the Tokimiku colouring series. I've got a couple of books from that series already, and the paper is really, really good. So it's this, most people would have seen it. So it's this series here. With the little mouse, everyone's seen the mouse. But I have got a few, and just on the back here too, it shows some. So we all know you can tell as soon as you see the shape of the book really, and you know it's going to be cute pictures, and you know it's going to be really, really good quality paper. This paper can take all sorts of medium. So once again, a little bit of information on colouring. They usually do introduce all the characters at the beginning of the book and then into the colouring pages. And this one has got it's more of a dark brown ink. But I like how big these images are. They give a lot of space to work with, especially if you're working with watercolour. There's a lot of space to play around. These books are really nice and thick as well. And then this one has a special section at the end for crafts. So this has paper dolls as well. And some little tags. And at the end here is just what was in all the book. I also got Romantic Country by Eerie. Everyone has seen this before. I have never gotten a copy, so I thought this was the best chance to get one, especially from Japan where I get like that beautiful paper in there as well. So I'm not really going to flick through this. Everybody has seen this probably a million times and we all love it. And I'm finally happy that I have got my hands on a copy of it because it's been one of those things that I've always wanted, but I haven't gotten to. To be honest, I should have got the other ones as well. But like I said, I had to leave some things behind that I would have wanted to get. And I would have been happy to get Romantic Country 2 and 3, but I just got the one. Okay, I got this one here, this one-piece colouring in book. And I got this from a bookshop in Japan called Book Off. There's quite a few of them around. They're actually second-hand bookshops. They also sell things like second-hand like anime figurines, and I saw some plushies in one as well. And it is honestly amazing. Like we have second-hand bookshops over here, but they are nothing compared to this. They are massive. And every single book in there, well, nearly, I'd say 80% of the books look like they are brand new. Japanese people look after their books because those books looked amazing. And there was so much anime and manga. And it's probably lucky I couldn't read Japanese because I would have spent a lot of money in there. I did find this in there. So this is a one-piece colouring book and it hasn't been touched at all. And the thing is, I've seen this before on Japan Amazon and I really wanted it, but it was sold out. So when I saw this there, I was super excited. So I love One Piece. And the pictures in here are really cool. The paper is, it's not bad, but it's not fantastic either. We'll have to see when I colour it in. But I love the images. They're like really graphic. This one is one that I'm really looking forward to colouring in. This is a good size too because it's not very big, but it's not super small. It's a perfect size just to put on your lap while you're watching telly. Maybe I can put One Piece on and colour this in. And then at the end here, they have got a couple of the images that are in the book, but they're coloured and they're like postcards. So that was a really good find. I got this as well, which is the Travelling Animal Orchestra. This is also the part of the Tokimeku colouring series, like I showed you before. I have never seen this before, but I must be living under a rock because I looked and it was published in 2025. I love the images in here a lot. And I'm so surprised I haven't seen it. I'm sure it's been shown on heaps of different colouring channels and I just haven't paid attention to it. But I honestly thought I found a new one. And then when I found it was 2025, I was like, what? But the pictures in here are so cute. The bears are so cute. I've always noticed in this book, there's always a page where they're having a party. It's funny. And this has a little bit here about all the members of the band and what they play, which is pretty cool. I also have this one which is called Kuma's Delicious Restaurant, and it says on the front, Gino the Bear, a wonderful chef. And this one is illustrated by Shimizu Fukika. I really like the size of these books. They're like really nice and big. Very good size. Once again, it's divided into seasons. I love here how they're very detailed on every little bit of the colouring in, which is cool. And it's introducing the characters again. I honestly could not get over how cheap the books were over there. So this one was, yeah, so this probably cost me close to $12. That's what makes it so hard not buying everything in the shop, because you're just like, oh my gosh, it's so cheap. And the art supplies are so cheap as well. It's amazing. You definitely come home with a lot more than what you took with you when you go to Japan, that's for sure. We ended up having to buy like this big white, massive white bag from Daiso and fill it up with most of our clothes and then fill our suitcases up with everything that we bought. There's just so much over there. And I think it's because you just know you're never going to get that again. So you're never going to be able to get all that stuff. Well, I won't be able to get that stuff in Australia. I mean, I can get some of it from Amazon Japan, but it's not going to be as cheap with the postage. And just in general, I have noticed that Amazon Japan, the prices are a lot more expensive. Just for example, bought some sunscreen over there because I have an amazing sunscreen and it was $7. And on the Amazon Japan, it's $10. So just like, it is, Amazon Japan is more expensive than buying it from actually in Japan itself, not including the postage. This one's called A Forest Diary with Little Twins by Hanasaki Taru. This was another one that was way too cute to put back on the shelf. And this is a nice big square book as well. This one got a tiny bit damaged in my suitcase. This is one of the first ones I bought, so it was in my suitcase for the longest and been moved around to lots of different places, so it did get a little bit damaged. It's not too bad. I think it got damaged here, but I think if I took this off, you wouldn't even be able to notice, and I might even be able to take it off and iron it. We'll see. But this is another one with an absolutely beautiful, cute bear in it. I can't wait to sit down on a nice warm day and just go through all these and just mark the ones that I'm really looking forward to colouring in. I love doing that. So super relaxing. So these aren't double page spreads. Well, some of them are, but lots of them aren't, but they kind of are because they go together. The ones that aren't actually double page spreads do go together. So see, it's not really a double page spread, but it is in, you know, like, so I would colour the same colour palette on both pages so they join. I do like how these books have Christmas pages because I don't like buying, I'm not a seasonal colorist at all, and I don't like buying like full books all about Christmas and things like that. So it's nice when Christmas does pop around, and I do like to colour in the occasional Christmas or Easter or Halloween page. So when it does come in, it's nice to just be able to find some pages in my books without having to go and buy a full book. This one's called A Fairy Tale About a Girl and a Cat by Sue Grimm. This one has the coloured pages next to the images to colour. But what I really do like about this one is that if you did want to replicate the image next to it, so if you did really want to replicate this there, which is good, because I find that replicating also teaches you where to put shadows, where to put light, where to put highlights. So you can learn from it, and you can also just use different colours if you did want to, but use the same type. You can see where the shadows and highlights go. But if you completely wanted to replicate this, you can in this book, because it has the exact colour palette that the artist used, which is amazing. So it has the whole colour palette here, but it also has the names of the brands of the watercolours as well. So she used 3 brands of watercolours. She used Holbein, SWC, and Mangwan Colour. And she also, down here, used some Prismacolor pencils as well in these colours. So that's something that's really different I have not seen in any of the other books. It also has, in this one, some colouring tips and also some pages to try them out on, which is awesome. Okay, now into the book. This was another thick one. It has got a lot of images, and this has got a really nice brown ink as well. I think a lot of the Japanese colouring books use this brown ink instead of black, which I like. The paper's pretty good in this. I don't know how it would go with watercolour. I actually think it might be okay. It doesn't really have much of a grain on it. It's quite smooth, but at the same time, it is just single-sided. So if you're fine with not worrying about this page, you could definitely even use alcohol markers on it. I think it would take alcohol markers really well. I also got this Atelier of Witch Hat book, and when I Google translated this, it said pointed hat Atelier, but it is Atelier of Witch Hat. I do already have an Atelier of Witch Hats book, colouring book, but my colouring book is, like, I haven't touched it because I'm scared to, because the paper is like amazing. The pictures are amazing. It's a lot bigger than this. I love it, but I'm too scared to ruin it. So I haven't touched it. So I got this so at least I still get to colour in until hopefully one day I feel brave enough to colour in my other one. So I have noticed in here, it does look like there's quite a few different illustrators. There's a few different styles. Obviously all the characters. I love this page. I love the boxes. It's kind of like a comic. Now see, this illustrator is definitely different. Yeah. It reminds me a lot of, I've got the J.R.R. Tolkien colouring book, the really big thick one. If you have it, you'll know what I mean, because lots of the illustrations in there look like this. So I don't know if it's the same illustrator. This is another gorgeous page. I also got this one, which is a You Can Too Cat's colouring book. So the reason it's called You Can Too is because it has demonstrations of how to colour each page as a reference. So if you have a look here, you'll see every picture is in here. It has really good demonstrations of how to do the fur. So this shows you where to put the fur on the body, as in like following the shape of the face. And then it goes into every single page. So it shows you how to layer, where to start from, and what colors to use. And it also shows you where to put the fur. So if you have trouble with fur, this book would be really, really good. So cute. So if you're a lover of cats, you would love this book. And then into the colouring pages. The paper is super thick. It's very smooth. So I think it would actually work well with markers. But yeah, it's very, very smooth and nice and thick. So these are basically just all the pictures you've just seen, but the uncoloured versions. So I won't go through all those, but just so you can see. And then I don't think, yeah, this one here is one that isn't actually coloured at the front, and nor is this one, but all the others are ones that we've seen. So there you have it. That is it. That is all my colouring books I've got. I will make another video with all my art books. I have made a video with all my art supplies. That's already up. So if you did want to find that, that will be the video before this video if you're having a look on my page. But thank you so much for watching. And if you want any information on anything, or you want me to do a really slow flip through of any of them, let me know. I'm more than happy to do it. And until next time, happy colouring. Bye.